Yeah, I can hear you. You're good. What happened?
I don't know. I'm not gonna say it was Haps. It might be the Mac Mini.
The what?
I got a Mac Mini that I'm
Oh,
running
okay.
this off of.
Right.
So it could be that. What did I miss?
Nothing. We're just running through Kamala Harris and how I see the struggle in quotes, right? Um,
Who
I think it's
struggle?
being undercut. What? Well, what did you say? Who struggle?
Yeah, who struggle?
The struggle is the black struggle. It's called the struggle.
Right, but I'm
Right.
saying who struggled? Are you saying Kamala Harris's
Oh no
struggle?
no no no. Our struggle in general
Oh,
versus people who claim the struggle for political purposes. It's like I call it. It's the reverse one drop rule, where now you have one drop of black blood in you, and whether you know any black people or not, all of a sudden you can slide into all the good things about black people, like right, like rhythm and cool saying and hot sauce in your bag swag kind of shit. Um, because at the end of the day, man, people they ridicule us, but there's a fair amount of envy for like our small group, and we're a small group, and it's only unique to America. Look, everybody call every black person black globally, but it's because it's a word that came out of America. It's about that word really is only about black people, descendants of slaves in America, right? Um, just like the term white was coined here, now you call everybody white out, just because we have such an influence. But if you're not careful, you will have people who don't know anything about you or your people telling your story for money, right? And that's what's going on here, and at least as I see it. Biz, if you keep going silent on us,
I wanted you to think I was frozen. All right,
no,
sorry.
all right.
No, it's
Um,
just when you said Kamala Harris, then you said the struggle. I was just like,
yeah, okay.
I was like, where are we going now? This is the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I mean, she knows no black culture, right? And that's the thing, right? It's like the first black president. He grew up in Indonesia and Hawaii. How black is that? So I'm giving you the first African American president, and I'll give her the first Indian president. I think she totally deserves it. But I want the first black president to, win this thing, go in his inaugural with his suit and tie on and his black Air Force Ones. You feel me? um,
So I guess my question is it definite that Joe Biden is not going to run again?
I don't know if it's definite, but that dude, he gets weaker by the week, and he doesn't do a press conference any later than 1 in the afternoon. And I'm not lying about that. And you don't ever
Uh-huh.
see him anywhere near Air Force One because they don't want you to see him walking up those stairs.
Well, he fell before, right?
Huh?
He
I no
fell
no.
before.
If he fell before, he'd be dead. he, no, no, he didn't fall. And it would be all over TV. He's more his walk looks like he's got to think about it, and he's just too old for the gig, man. He's too old for the gig. He
That's
tripped, but did
true.
not fall.
Emmanuel,
Right?
he tripped up the stairs. He didn't fall down the stairs.
Yeah. Okay.
Slam TV, what do you mean? All talk, no action from the pro blacks.
Who is Slam TV?
Slam TV.
All talk, no action.
Slam TV, I'm blocking you. No, I'm just joking.
So yeah, look, listen. You'd be a foolish person to be one guy taking on the apparatus. Like I said before, and I think I said it to you, Biz. The, the first thing you have to deal with is your own people. You got to get people on board to do the thing, and people are not on board to do the thing. And you have to have it out within your own ranks about what's important and what's for real. But until that happens, you don't have to sit here and be a fucking goo, do what everyone else does, because everyone else will sell you out for a nickel, and that is the problem. And the people who like to keep me on the bottom know this. So I can buy if I can buy everybody out, you know. There you go. Astronauts celebrate record-breaking chili harvest in space with taco night. Doesn't that sound like a Simpsons headline?
Well, they were doing stuff for Taco Tuesday or something like that.
It is Tuesday. No, it's Wednesday.
No,
Taco.
it's
I guess this
Wednesday,
was
but
yesterday.
I'm guessing
So
you read
no,
it for
well,
yesterday.
you know how they do experiments on the space station? They
Mm-hmm.
grew chilies and then they harvested the chilies and made them in tacos. Okay. It's Taco Wednesday.
No, but I'm thinking what you were reading was from yesterday.
Yeah, I'm thinking that you might be right. Let me click on it. 1 p.m. Eastern, December 1st, 2021.
Okay, I'm wrong.
I think that's when they published the story, but I think the story was written about yesterday. We were eating Thanksgiving leftovers and stopped in sales on Black Friday.
Hey,
Astronauts, oh, while you
true.
were, I thought that's what they were doing. All right. Astronauts on the space station had a special taco night to celebrate their second successful chili harvest. So this happened Thanksgiving, I'm assuming.
Hey,
They grew
true.
chili in space. Okay.
Slam TV would like to come up.
No. Who slammed TV? All right. Uh, Slam TV. Um, there are rules. We're not talking about COVID, and we're not getting me kicked off YouTube. So yeah, man, all this stuff is just it's the way of the land, right? The thing is that they don't think people will have gotten hip to their game. It's just that people can't do anything about this political game because they exact the penalty and everybody goes to jail for whatever they say you did. And I go back to like we talked about for a brief time about uh, the fact that all three people who killed Malcolm X were exonerated, and
Right.
nobody then looked back and was like, "All right, who put these people in jail? Let's hear from you." This famous person who had millions of followers, you either set him up or you were incompetent. So now
Right.
talk, but now you're not even going to talk to them about it. You know, it's the legal system. I am out of medication. All right. What are you gonna do? No, no. I think the Muslim they think Muslims from Mosque number 2 killed them on the orders of Elijah Muhammad because Elijah Muhammad was messing around with young women, and when I say young women, I mean young women. I don't mean 22 and 23-year-olds. I mean younger women than that, right? Excuse me. So yeah,
So you're out of.
who's Angelo Moscow?
He's a wrestler.
We're not showing wrestling, man. All right. So maybe this R. Kelly. All right, this thing's gonna go off the rails. We're not having an off the rails night. I'm gonna lose some support. Absolutely not doing it. Absolutely not doing it. Excuse me. So I guess that's it. What do you got going on, Biz?
uh, nothing really. I'm gonna just jump around to a couple of what's the name, and then I got to be in the city early tomorrow, so I can't be up late tonight. Famous
Remember
last
the days
words.
we'd be out all night and you would fall asleep on the stoop,
Yes.
and we would be out there till like 2 in the morning, 2, 3 in the morning, talking shit and drinking 40s. Back in our young man days, now people have to be up to go to work. When cats didn't want to be up to go to school.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to bounce around.
Yeah. So
And
bounce around means you're gonna hit some haps streamers.
well, I'm gonna see what else is out here.
Right, I feel you.
I'm gonna
I'm
see
just
what
trying to
else
get
is out
the
here.
term that you guys use in the industry, we'll call it.
Uh,
Bounce around.
and then I'll just what's the name? I'll just Elijah and R. Kelly both love 13-year-olds. Oh God.
Yeah. You know, I think there's this thing of the term power corrupts. It's that. It's like something you would never do, but once people will let you get away with shit, you begin pushing the bounds of how much shit you can get away with. Right? And it's always women and money with men, right? And I think it's always money with women too. But it's got to be another thing other than that. Maybe other women's men's. But it's always sex and money. Gotta watch it. So yeah, I think Chris Cuomo actually got fired. The more I think about it, the more I'm like,
Well,
but then I think
suspended
about,
indefinitely.
yeah, what does that mean though? Because here's my thing.
They don't know what to do with
Even
him
though it's a
right
different
now.
network, Brian Williams lied on TV, lost his anchor job, but's got his own TV show on MSNBC, and then stayed with the thing for like 10 years or whatever,
Okay, here's the main
12 years.
main piece right here. Decision makers. Discovery is acquiring CNN and a lot of those Time Warner properties.
Really?
So the CNN people have new bosses.
Really?
Yeah. So right now, the thing to watch is when they say indefinitely, they don't know what to do with someone. So you're suspended. You're not on the air.
All right.
We got new bosses coming in.
So it's like the Viacom thing when they merged and they sold that thing with Sumner Redstone's daughter took over, and
Right.
she got rid of Les Moonves.
Right.
She was like, "Up, sexual impropriety, and we're not even going to pay you your 60 million. Get the fuck out." Remember that?
Yep.
So that was all because we were able to hide it because our old bosses were good with it, but our new bosses are not.
Our new bosses.
Right? And he was the chairman of CBS forever. Left unceremoniously without any cash.
Emmanuel, it's already sold. It's been sold like 2 times over. So the key
Ted
thing
Turner sold
here,
CNN in the 80s.
yeah, the big thing here is when you got new bosses,
Yeah.
um,
New boss, same as the old boss, but still, new boss.
new a whole new set of CEOs and everything
Yeah.
else, and they're coming in and they're gonna come in and they're gonna chop away.
Yeah.
And right now, he appears to be a liability.
Yeah, I can absolutely see why.
I mean, just look how silly they looked during the entire Andrew Cuomo,
Yeah, Love Fest on your air.
not
Everyone
just the
had a
love
problem
fest.
with
I'm
it.
talking about after with the New York AG. They didn't, a couple of times Chris Cuomo had to come on air and say, "Hey, I know this story is swirling around, but I'm not going to talk about it because
Right,
he's my brother."
right. Which means just and that in a way is censoring the story, right?
Right,
That's as bad as you making it a puff piece about your brother,
right.
right? Maybe you shouldn't talk about it, but someone at your network should be talking about it. But they're all friends. They all work in the room down the hall. You're not going to do a hard expose and then walk past his all. You know what I mean? It's all this. They're all too. It's all too incestuous. They're all too. And news is worse than house TV. They're all too incestuous and insidious. Uh,
Emmanuel, I don't blame you. I try not to watch that stuff anymore either.
yeah, I think you got to watch it. I think you got to know who's making moves and who's doing what, and you can't be surprised by them
Well,
because they
there's
get
ways to
worse.
find out on the web. You can find out. It's just
Right, 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 right.
droning constantly with those the
Talking
left
heads.
and the right and all this other
Right.
stuff. That stuff is just It'll rip you apart.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I agree. 100% agree. Uh, but at the same time, you got to keep your eye on them because they're
Hmm.
sketchy. They are all sketchy. They start unscrupulous wars that no one pays for. Well, we'll pay for it for the next 30 years.
Right.
They'll send your kids to jail for the and give their kids a skate on the same damn thing. Um, while demonizing your kids, right? So look, the Democratic Party, if you look at what's unfolded in the last 25 years, you had the Clintons revealed to essentially be brokering black people into prisons, right? While they build an industrial complex. The Clintons still had like all this black support too, right? You had all this sex stuff come out about people having to leave like their political positions because of sex. Uh, and never you can do anything with money in Congress, but never inappropriate with the money. But it's just it's and they all know each other. They all hang out together. Like this Epstein pictures with the president. Look, first of all, I've said this before. The Secret Service knows who the president hangs out with. If you're in the room with the president, they know all about you.
Hmm.
How is Epstein hanging out with Bill Clinton? How's Bill Clinton on his jet plane? Right? How's the Secret Service going, Mr. President? You need to know that this guy has a history of inappropriate connections and relations with children. And since we look at stuff that we don't give the government, like the people to arrest you, but we know he's doing X, Y, and Z, bribing so and
Mm.
so. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be anywhere near him. I mean, he's the president. You didn't know this? Of course you knew this. And but somebody had to overrule that. Yeah, Bill Clinton was the first black president.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Who called him that? What's the writer? What's her Maya Angelou. You rolled your eyes at that. All these people have been proven to have bad judgment because now, I mean, Hillary Clinton said something a couple of days ago. She blamed the voters, right? This whole thing that they had handily under wraps is falling apart in their lifetime, right?
Well, it's just
And
these people. Once they get aired out, they become persona non grata.
yeah, but so many of them get aired out, and they're all in the same little cabal, right?
Hmm.
And that's what it is. Like I said earlier, man, it's like the mafia, right? It's like Tommy Two Toes got arrested or shot, and he's a known associate of, right? Oh, Hillary Clinton is a known associate of, uh, who's the producer who went to jail for messing around with the girls? Weinstein, right? He was supposed to be. He's a giant donor at the parties. He's hanging out with you. You knew him. Now he's in on a sex rap. Uh, and you've got tons of people like this that you knew. Your husband knows Epstein. He's dead on a sex rap, right? How many rapists do you know? Like Oprah Winfrey knew all these people who ended up being arrested. Charlie Rose, right, thrown off air, right?
Guy
You
on
just look back and
Walker.
go,
You talking about Chuck Norris Walker? Is he talking about the original Walker, Chuck Norris? Or okay, no,
the guy. Who's the guy on Walker?
Weinstein was
Oh, right,
using a
right,
Walker, yes,
right. Yeah, exactly.
which was full of
Um,
it.
yeah,
Yeah, I saw that. He was going to the court case trying to look feeble.
exactly. Still got 20 years though. Um, but you know what I mean? It's just every time the guy that kid who was on that '70s show,
Okay.
they're looking at him for like 4 rapes. So maybe you should look in that town, right? And that town wants to stay in power. What do? You cozy up to the powerful. Hey, I know Hillary Clinton. I got this kind of thing. Maybe you can tell the president not to have an investigation going on about what happens in Hollywood or on my private yacht, or I took money from the Iranians or whoever that I'm not supposed to take it to. Maybe you could tell the Justice Department. And this is what it is. You watch my back, I watch your back. And then you grow up, thinking politics and all these. But at least in the old days, like I said, you used to die, and then 20 years later, someone would write a book about you, and this shit will come out. Now it's coming out in your lifetime, and now you're essentially doing damage control about it. Every time Hillary Clinton opens her mouth, a whole bunch of people go in the Democratic Party just go, "Will you shut the fuck up?" Right? And that wasn't the case like 15 years ago. 15 years ago, that was only happening with the Republicans. So yeah, they've eaten away the goodwill because they don't ever. You're right, there, Biz. They don't ever get it done for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then now you see this guy's problem. Oh, but this guy knew this guy, and this guy's problem. Hey, this guy knew this guy who knew this guy, and this guy has a problem. Oh, he knew these, and before you know it, you step back and you go, "What is going on in that town and with these people?" Right? Money is God, and so you know you you know all these people with this sordid history, uh, but they will all give you a ton of cash, and that is the way I see that. Yeah, so they can spend more money and then be dead because they're all gonna be dead. Well, not everybody in Congress. Most of the people in leadership in Congress are in their late 70s till through late 80s. They won't be here in 20 years to pay this shit off.
Mm-mm.
They're the ones who kicked off all these wars. They had no children fighting them. A handful of them had sons who were enlisted, and they got cushy jobs because their parents were a senator or this or that or the other, right? It's how it really is. I mean, it's it's not unfathomable how we got to this point, right? It's corruption.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. And now there's a full civil war going in the Republican Party and the Democratic Party, in
Man,
both parties.
it's time for
A
new
lot of people
leadership.
are unhappy.
It's time for new leadership.
Yeah, agreed. Some people think Bill Gates is a pedo, right? Broke up his marriage. He's another friend of the Clintons that we can put on this list.
Emmanuel's last comment is so appropriate.
Our great grandchildren will not be able to pay off the debt. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, yeah.
It's just kick the can, kick the can, kick the can.
And it stays like this because the media is in bed with these people, right? These people. Um, the politicians are beholden to these people, uh, and that's the way I see it. They keep you entertained, so Hollywood has a connection. Keep making interesting, goofy fare, and keep them occupied, and we will do whatever. And those who don't want to be occupied by you, will keep occupied with stories of it's the other guy's fault, right? But eventually, you know, like I said, I think just because of technology, you know what they're doing now within like 2 weeks to like 2 years of when they did it, and we'll see. Remember, everybody like and subscribe. I'm going to be on Twitch probably tomorrow, so please. Oh, here's my thing. Like and
There you
subscribe my
go.
YouTube channel and my Twitch channel. You like that, Biz?
All
That
right.
right there. Look at that handwriting.
I
I had to
wish it
take
was
out a
all the same thing. I wish it was branded across the
yeah.
board.
Well, I had to take out a bank loan for this one. Maybe the next one I write, I'll get them the up to $2.38 to buy markers and a placard, a index card. For the next one, I'll get fancier because we're growing this thing. We have a budget of $3 a day. Woo! You
All
laugh
right,
now,
man.
Biz. In
Thanks so
50
much,
years,
man.
what's up,
I said thanks so much.
Dr. Shiva?
I'm a jump, all right?
Are you taking off? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take
Well, we're
off.
about to end the stream anyway. So why don't you hang out for 5 minutes? Can you?
All right.
Uh, let's say some goodbyes. Please like and subscribe here and on my YouTube channel and at Biz's YouTube and Twitch channel as well. Um, I'm usually here every night at 7:30. Usually nightly.
Eastern time.
Eastern time, yeah, Virginia time. I've been sick, so like I took like 5 days off, but generally, like in the last 6 months, I think I maybe missed 10 days of streaming. And the last bunch came with this cold. And plus, we have the ongoing car drama that you want to tune in for that. maybe the car will actually get fixed. Will it or won't it? Tune in next week. All right, we want to thank Biz for coming through as always. Ted, I love you.
Love you too,
Um,
man. Talk
I
to you
want to
soon.
thank you for subscribing, Emmanuel. I want to thank everyone who came through the chat. Thank you, William, as always. A black Jeep Cherokee. We only ride American in this house. My man Biz took off on us. Everyone, take care of yourself. Have a good